This would be the part where I actually do like a fancy intro or something, but I'm a student, so I can't afford that. Ta-da! This is my first Casebook entry, and in this case it is a zoetrope. So a zoetrope, according to Google, is a device that produces the illusion of motion by displaying a sequence of drawings or photographs which show the progressive phases of that motion. And it's a little bit like a flip book, but except it's looped. And the idea is that you put it on a sort of turntable or just a stick, and then you spin it around, and then you look through slots in the side of it, because it's looped, so it's in a cylinder, and they have slots in the side, and you look through the slots, and then it appears to be moving. So zoetropes were originally invented in 1834 by a guy called William George Horner, and he originally called them daedalums, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which translates to wheel of the devil. And as you can imagine, naming a device after Satan himself didn't really spur much enthusiasm into the project, which is why it was most likely dropped for the next 30 years until they were rediscovered by an American, because, you know, Americans make everything nowadays. This American in question was also called William, but his name was William F. Lincoln, not to be confused with Abraham Lincoln. And in 1867, he reintroduced the daedalum as a zoetrope, which translates to wheel of life, because it comes from the words zoo, meaning animals or life, and trope, which means things that turn. So because zoetropes are quite easy to make, it was the first project I had to do at Salford, and here it is. I think it could be better. Yeah, I'm about to go into more detail about it in a close-up, but overall, I am definitely not happy with the way it turned out. When I started making it, it looked a lot better than this. And now I think it's crumpled under the weight of being my bag for 2 bus journeys. Anyways, cut to the close-up, because that's what good animators do. So, in terms of what I do differently, if I were to do my zoetrope again, the first thing I do is to reinforce it, because as you can see, it's pretty flimsy. So, probably insulating tape or card or something like that, just to make sure it's not as as fragile as it is now. And also, I'd also use a different glue, because as you can see here, just that bit there, that's come off already. So probably a better glue to stick it down. Make sure, if I were to use this template, and actually to avoid that entirely, I could just do my own design, which is another thing I definitely do. If I were to do this again, I definitely choose my own looped design and put that on instead, because I think it'll just it'll be better practice, and it'll make it look a lot more authentic. So yeah, apart from that, I'd also do the blue tack, which you can see just in there, if my camera shadow will get out of the way. It does work, but not to an extent. You can sort of see that's not exactly straight, which might also have something to do with the reinforcing, because this is just paper, and then we've got some thicker card as a band around there, just to make sure it stays as a sort of cylinder. But yeah, another thing I'd also want to do is paint this black, because I think that would make it look better. As most zoetropes, the outside is black, and so the inside stands out a lot more, because this is white, and so you can see partially through the paper, because it's quite thin into the designs. And so yeah, painting it black would give it a better feel in my eyes. And yeah, so just to recap, I'd redo the design. I'd use
insulating tape or card to strengthen it. I'd use some, maybe not blue tape, maybe sellotape or something to strengthen the stick that it's stuck on, and my own design, insulating tape, and paint it black as well. Yeah.
So there you have it, how to badly make a Zoetrope. Except this is actually a good thing, because I failed, so I know I don't want to do it. I was totally unaware, or at least partially unaware, that this was what a Zoetrope was, and I think that creating one has been a great step in my animation career. I now know I don't want to do it again, because I don't feel that I would excel very much in this area. So I shall stick to what my original plan is, which is stop motion. So there you go, there's my Zoetrope casebook video. Bye.